Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It, the show where Moon and I are just playing even more roguelikes. There's no
Yep.
end to them. We Google the best roguelikes of 2022, and they go, "Hey, y'all played Spelunky?" And I say, "No, that's not the Google result. Well, come on, what are you doing?" And then
Literally of 2022, you stupid Google search.
that's right. Come on. Um, I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moon Pair.
Hi.
And this is our fourth and not final week of Rogue Legacy 2. Moon and I
What did you do?
decided here pre-show that did you know Rogue Legacy 2 is real big? And we've kind of only scratched the surface here, so we're going to extend this one by 2 more weeks. We're going to do 6 episodes of Rogue Legacy
Yep.
2 because I was also thinking about that today, just saying like, man, I'm not ready to rate this and rank that. I'm not ready for science next week because I feel like I haven't seen
Have to
enough
do the
of it.
proper research before
Yeah,
science can be completed.
that's right. We have a hypothesis, and we need to suss it out.
Uh-huh.
So we'll be doing 2 more episodes of Rogue Legacy 2. I hope you're all enjoying this game along with us.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like, if you haven't started it and you're interested in, don't worry about catching up because we ain't gonna finish it.
Well, and like I think the thing that that kind of kicked that off for me this week is when I unlocked I unlocked a whole bunch of new blueprints this week, and I went to go talk to the
Uh-huh.
blacksmith, and he's like, "Hey man, how about weapon and armor unity?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, there's
Uh-huh.
another. What are you doing?" Like, it's a cool system, and I like it, but I think that was the straw that broke my back. From like, I'm never gonna see all this game. Like, I saw
Yeah,
nearly everything of the first game because I played that game for a real long time. But there's just
that's the key
so
here.
much.
Real long time is the key
Yeah,
words.
yeah, slowly but surely. Um, I I was sick most of this week, so I didn't get a chance to play as much of this as I wanted to. But I did have one really good run, a couple of runs after I turned on house rules. Um, and the only house rule I turned on was number
Contact.
one. I like when you turn on house rules and you get an achievement called like just taking a look or something
Yeah.
like that. Like, yeah, I turned off contact, which feels pretty good. Um, I, I
Yeah.
I don't think I was taking as much contact damage before as I thought I was. I think, especially in the second area, the environmental hazards are really my worst enemy,
Uh-huh.
and impatience. Um, but I like a lot of the options in there because we've previously talked about enemy damage to you and your damage to enemies that can scale from 50% to 200%.
Yep.
So you can make the game incredibly difficult if you'd like. Um, the one option that I thought was really interesting was toggling flight mode. And
Yep.
the game says like, look, if you're having trouble doing the platforming, you click in, I think it's the right stick maybe, and you
It
just
is,
fly.
yeah.
And you click it in again, and you're not flying anymore. I was like, yeah, man, all right, that's a
Uh-huh,
really
that's really good.
yeah, that's a really great option. Like, I think that is, it's a nice accessibility feature, but I think it's also just really nice. Of like, I'm not good at platforming. Like, I'm good at the rest of the game, but I'm just gonna fly through all of the second area because it sucks. God, that whole second area, man. I finally did beat the second area, including the giant skeleton that throws bones boss that turns into 2 skeletons that are throwing bones boss, which
Uh-huh.
was real rude. Rogue Legacy 2. That's a real rough thing. Um,
Uh-huh.
and I am doing pretty well in the snowy area now as the third area. Um, I have
hate the wolves. Those stupid wolves.
They're so fast. The thing that I really
Uh-huh.
hate are the zombies that suddenly pop up and it's like, all right, clear this room. No, that has been
Yep.
a little rough. But I feel pretty good in that area so far. It took me a while to figure out how to defeat um, the little like wood sprites that are around that you have to spin kick to damage.
Yeah,
And as soon
because they're doing the white
the
flashy,
yellow,
you have to
yeah,
use
and I was just
the
like, as soon as I spun kick one and did damage, I was just like, why did I not put two and two together? That they have the like yellow rings, like the rest. Okay, I figured it out.
uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, I now that I'm out of area two, I feel much better about the game overall, especially thanks to Pizza Girl. I can just skip that entire area now and just start in the third
Uh-huh.
area. Um,
Yep. So
yeah.
what I've been doing is I've been doing a power run through the first area.
Hmm.
So because at this point I'm one-shotting everybody in that first area, so that's fine.
Getting all your
Mostly so I
upgrades.
can getting the relics, getting the stuff like that, seeing how it goes.
Try and
And then
find a
from
tree.
there, yep, hopefully find a tree and
Yep.
then use the one-shot enemies to build my health back up using the
Right.
lifesteal rune. Then as soon as I get to like the point where I'm teleporting to a different zone, I'm like, okay, I've cleared this zone out. So now I'm just going to jump on the teleporter and go to the one I'm currently in,
Hmm.
which in my case is zone 4 or 5, 4, I
Okay.
think. Which
And
that's no joke.
yeah, it feels a lot like the previous game where it's like, all right, a brand new area. Oh no, this place is cursed. Like this is the
Uh-huh.
difficulty jump is immediate. Um, I I did have another really good run this week though. I did unlock. I don't think it was this week. I think it was the previous week. I unlocked the boxer. Um,
Okay, I
and
just got to the point where I said literally this morning I unlocked the one under him, so he is my next unlock.
uh, he's pretty fun because essentially when you hold down the attack button, he just punches forever. Even in the air when you're making contact, you can kind of punch, punch, punch while you're floating there. Um,
Interesting.
but the first run I got with a boxer had, I think it's called dwarfism. So they were like
So he's tiny.
he's like a third of the size of the rest of the characters. That was a very overpowered run because it's like you can't hit me with anything. I have no contact damage, so I'm just getting in the mix and just going nuts. So that
Uh-huh.
was that run was pretty good. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's really good. Like
Yeah.
that's a I got a what is it called? I always forget. It's traits. I got
Hmm.
a trait this. So I mentioned at the end of last week's show that I started a run with a diva trait,
Oh, okay.
where it was like one big spotlight on me and all of the
Oh,
enemies had little
right,
spotlights.
right.
Yeah, when you clear out a room, roses get thrown at the screen.
That's really good.
And like there's a little way, and then
Uh,
roses come from me into the screen onto the level, and it's just like,
that's really
okay,
good. I love this studio,
okay,
man.
like it's, God, I hate you so much.
It's so
It's
good.
it's so stupid. Um, I got one. I just finished a run, which I don't know what it was called,
Hmm.
but every enemy was a black shade, like no coloration. It was just a a gray
Mm.
outline, and everything inside of it was black.
Oh,
That was
weird.
a nightmare.
That is weird. I'm trying to think if I got any other ones this week. I didn't. I feel like I didn't do enough runs to see anything um, that's that interesting. Um, I wanted to play much more than
Current,
I got a chance to.
yeah. I'm currently on a run with a cartographer, which reveals the entire map of the biome that you are currently in, but you
Yes,
don't have a point. You don't have a character point.
that one drove me so crazy, man. I just it's such a good like. It's not even a risk reward. It's just such a good like. Oh, this is a really good bonus. Oh, but that negative is really bad. Oh man.
Yup.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I do think Chef is my new favorite class, by the way.
Chef is so good. Oh man.
Like, it's ridiculous. Also, I did so every time you start a run, do you go into the dream house? Because you should.
The dream house. No, not usually.
Okay, every time you start a run, go into that dream house. Do some of those challenges because all of the challenges have a class specific score. So,
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay. Gosh. More
so,
content.
uh so that first boss that you fought, where it was like defeat the twin, is it the two skeletons you have to face in the first
I
challenge?
yeah, I think so.
But every time you go in there with a specific class, and it'll give you a score for that class, and then
Wow.
it's added to your total amount for that challenge.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
you can go in as a barbarian, get one score as an archer, get a different score as a boxer, get a third score, and it tallies them up to the total amount of score to
Wow.
get the different grade of medals.
Right.
Um, so I just got the gold medal on the first challenge or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives you 300 souls, I think, for completing it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite
So
a bit.
go in and
All
complete
right.
those challenges with every class.
Content.
Um, yes, because I got the 300 and then I started unlocking a bunch of stuff in the soul shop.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've unlocked a certain amount, it starts giving you alternates for the classes, dude.
Oh no.
So right now I have barbarians as it, when they show up on the select screen.
Mm-hmm.
If I hit up on the D-pad, they become some other form of barbarians, but they start with the barbarian's fabled weapon, which is the one where he just spins.
Wow. Okay.
Like
Goodness. Okay.
it's it's real
Now,
good.
if you were again wondering why are they playing 2 more weeks of this game, it's a pretty good indication.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Goodness.
the a simple start challenge is just a combat challenge where you're in that tower room.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
so
Right.
yeah, do that with everyone.
Speaking of, when you're in the dungeon and you run into those red portals, do you ever do them?
Yes,
Yeah.
every time.
I very
Because
rarely do them. I'm in such a bad shape when I run into them.
so the reason I do them is because they give you both blood and iron, which is
Hmm.
necessary for the upgrades. But also by completing them, it gives you more empathies for the challenges in the soul house,
Okay.
which you can. That's the beauty of doing the soul house with different classes. Is if you struggle with an, in my case, I struggled with the archers. I'm not
Yeah,
good with the
ditto.
archers, especially against bosses
Yep.
because there's tons of them. So having more empathies gives you a buff so you can turn it up and have more empathies with the archer, for example. So he does
Ah,
40% more HP and 40% more damage. You do get a negative on his score, but you've just added 40,000 points to your total that you didn't have
right.
previously.
Right. Okay. I'll have to start doing more of those then.
I would.
Yeah.
I do think it's worth it all of the time.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts here for week 4?
This game's too big, dude.
There's just a. I feel like though I have never really felt overwhelmed by the amount of stuff to do because I feel like it is generally pretty fair about unlocking. So if you do get the big like dump right at the beginning, but every
Mhm.
time you beat a boss, there's some new stuff. Every time you find someone in the dungeon because you got deeper in, you find some new stuff. And like I've unlocked X number of blueprints, so now I have the Unity thing. Like it feels fairly natural, but I think when you take a step back and you think about all the systems, there's just a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, just look at that Scar menu. There's like
Hmm.
15 Scar challenges, and I've unlocked like five.
I think I've unlocked maybe 3. Like,
And it gives you a little description as like, here's where you can find this scar.
yeah, I
Speaking
like
of
that a
which,
lot.
did you get the one above the door yet, right in the beginning?
No, I tried using an archer and I don't know. I can't hit RB to talk to it. Um,
So, like I said, you put the platform down, do the Y
ah,
platform.
curses. That's right. I
So
the
you
thing I
do a spin
forget
kick
the
or a dash off the edge right close to it. You
yeah,
hit that your special
I
ability,
I
and
keep
then you're
forgetting about the
standing there.
special ability. If you're, of course, I remember the one when you're the cook because that's the important one, and everybody else I
Mhm.
just forget about it. I just
Yeah,
yeah.
dude,
Okay, I got to do that this week.
I'm not gonna lie, like the chef class in one of those challenges saved me
Hmm.
because what I do with the archer and the boss challenges for the scars, I
Hmm.
get as high as I can because I have the double jump now. Minor spoilers, you get a double jump.
Oh, nice.
So um I will spin kick off something really high up to get myself some height, double jump till I'm right at the ceiling of the level, and then hit that IV thing so I
Hmm.
can stand on it and shoot down at the bosses because that also blocks
Wow,
small and medium bullets.
nice.
So,
All right, I gotta remember to do that this week. I gotta do that.
uh-huh,
Oh man.
yes, you
All
do.
right. Any any final thoughts here for Rogue Legacy? It sounds like we're overwhelmed in a good way.
Yeah, the boss I'm
Yeah.
stuck on right now has two forms, just as a heads up.
Great. Good
Two
stuff.
full health bars, just as a heads
Great.
up.
Love it. Ooh, boy. All right. Well, we hope you'll all join us for next run. Bye.
Bye.